What's good, everyone? It's the one and only NY Phenom. If you guys enjoy NFL, NBA content, want to see some more gaming content, give this video a like, and if you're new, go and subscribe to the channel while you got there. Now let's get into this video. Alright, man, it's time for this 2019-2020 Atlanta Falcons team preview, man. We finna go to the dirty South, man. We finna go and start off with the NFC South, man. One of the best divisions in the NFL, man. And it's been like that for a little while, man. Just speak on the Falcons, man. Of course, last year was a disappointing year in 2018. A lot of that dealt with injuries, especially on the defensive side. I mean, when you lose your top safeties in like the first two games, I mean, what can you do? When you miss arguably probably your best defender on your team who plays middle linebacker, a playmaker like Deion Jones for most of the season, I mean, it just wasn't their year. Devontae Freeman dealt with injuries. Tevin Coleman was in and out the lineup, But the passing game was there, man. The passing game was there. The offense was actually still putting up a good amount of points. The defense really couldn't do nothing. But now, going to the 2019-2020 NFL season, the Falcons are looking healthy. Now, we know in training camp right now that a few of their players that really don't see the field that much, like I forgot the safety's name, the J.J. Wilcox. That he was going to be a depth player, right? And depth is, of course, it's important. And I don't want to come off sounding like an asshole or anything, but I mean, you would rather have your depth players injured than some of your star players. I don't want to come off as like you want your role players injured. You don't want anybody injured. Like I said, man, injuries are the worst part of football. Matter of fact, I was going to drop a video about this, but there was news about Tyreek Hill being carted off the field. But I just got alert saying that it was just a bone bruise, so that's good to hear. But I'm getting off on a tangent. Let's speak about the Falcons 2019-2020 season. Now, you know that they have a new offensive coordinator there, right? Steve Sarkisian. A lot of people weren't feeling his play. In my opinion, I thought Steve Sarkisian, I don't know how to pronounce the dude's last name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. I thought his 2017 season was kind of off, but I thought last year he did pretty well. Like the team was putting up points. Like I said in my Matt Ryan video a few days ago, Matt Ryan put up one of his best years. Honestly, he put up one of his best years. But they brought in Dirk Koetter, who was the Tampa Bay head coach. Things didn't really work out over there. He's coming back with the Atlanta Falcons. I believe he was part of this Atlanta Falcons system before, so that's good. And I think he can work some magic. We know that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers put up a lot of points last year, and that was with two different quarterbacks. They put up points with Ryan Fitzpatrick. They put up points with Jameis Winston. So I guess Dirk Koetter, he does have a good offensive mind. If he can do that with Tampa Bay, he can definitely put up points with the Atlanta Falcons offense. So let's speak on Matt Ryan. Not really much I'm going to speak on because I really spoke a lot about Matt Ryan a few days ago. But look, Matt Ryan is turning into one of the most underrated quarterbacks, one of the most hated quarterbacks. But this dude he's a top 10 quarterback, man. Right? Spoiler alert, he's a top 10 quarterback. I know I'm not supposed to really be speaking like that because I am dropping top 10 quarterback videos soon, but he's going to be on there. I mean, this dude is one of the most, he's accurate. He has really good awareness. Like, dude, last year he nearly threw for 5,000 yards. He had, He had 30-something touchdowns while only throwing 7 picks. had like a 68 completion rating. I mean, what else can you ask for? I know, like I said, he's going to get a lot of hate for 28 to 3, right? Even though that's 3 years ago. I mean, stuff like that's not going to go away. I don't think it's going to go away until he wins a championship. And I mean, even if he wins a championship, I'm not sure if it'll still go away. But, I mean, Matt Ryan, to me, he has to be up there as a top 10 quarterback. He has to be up there with the Phillip Rivers, the Big Bens. Because, I mean, he's just that dude. And I think you can win with him. I mean, it's been proven that you can win with him. I mean, how many times has he made it to the playoffs? I know last year he didn't, but the 2 years before that he did. So, Matt Ryan, cut it out, right? There's no way, I don't want to get off on a rant, but there's no way how Jared Goff should be ranked 30 spots ahead of Matt Ryan in the top 100 ranking list. Like, I mean, no shade to Jared Goff. Jared Goff is a solid quarterback himself, but come on now. Better than Matt Ryan, and better by that type of margin? Come on now. Cut it out. Cut it out, man. I know the city of Atlanta agrees with me. It really ain't that much to speak of for Matt Ryan. I think he's going to come out. He's going to produce. I mean, this is the prime of his career. So, expect him to have a really good season. The running back position. A lot of that has changed. No more Tevin Coleman, man. Tevin Coleman, he's now with the San Francisco 49ers. I think Tevin Coleman was really solid. A really solid running back. He would definitely was a big play running back. He's not there anymore, but look, Devontae Freeman is still here. And this is pretty much going to be the X factor of the team, man, is if Devontae Freeman can be where he was in 2016, right? Because they're going to need that type of level of production because they're going to be leaning on him. And, you know, that kind of has me feeling some type of way about it because, yes, Devontae Freeman has the skill to be a number one running back, of course. Of course, Devontae Freeman has the skill to be a number one running back because he's proven it. But is he going to be able to stay healthy for most of the season? Will he be healthy going into the playoffs? We don't know, man. We don't know. That's the biggest concern because, yes, you got backup running back Elo Smith. Well, I think Elo Smith is really solid, right? But, I mean, you know, it could look pretty scary if Devontae Freeman is not healthy. So they're going to need a healthy Devontae Freeman, point blank, period. He's going to be the X factor of his team. So you're going to need a lot out of him. I like Elo Smith as a backup running back. So it's going to be interesting how that plays out. But they can't go around it, man. Devontae Freeman has to be healthy going into this upcoming season. On to the wide receiver position, man. Julio Jones. One of the top receivers in the NFL. Arguably the top. He has to be, he's definitely top 3. No way getting around it. So, Julio Jones, you don't really got to speak on. I know a lot of people are acting like Julio Jones has fell off or he's not the same player that he was. People got cut it out. Julio Jones possibly had his best season last year. Right? Like, I know a lot of people feel that they don't give him his credit because the Falcons had a losing season last year. They went 7-9. But, I mean, dude was a beast last year. Right? I know he didn't score any touchdowns until like midway through the season. But he ended up scoring 8 touchdowns. Think about it. He didn't score touchdowns like week 8 or week 9. But he ended the season scoring 8 touchdowns, which was like the most that he scored since damn near his rookie season. So, I mean, dude had 1,677 yards. Really? Down year? That's the second most yards he ever received. Ever in a year. I mean, we could arguably make a case that last year was Julio Jones' best year. I mean, he was a consistent catcher. Really hasn't really lost that much speed. And he's 30 years old. The big thing is just stay healthy, man. Stay healthy. These past 2 years, Julio Jones has been healthy. Played all 16 games. Can he do it for another year? Because we know the issue for a little while for Julio Jones was, can he stay healthy? He's been healthy for the past 2 years. Let's keep that up. The other wide receiving players on this team, great. This wide receiver core as a whole is just amazing. Possibly maybe the best wide receiver core we have in the NFL. I mean, you got Mohamed Sanu, really good receiver. I mean, this dude is one of the most solid possession receivers we have in this game. To have Mohamed Sanu as your second receiver, you're doing pretty well. You're doing pretty well. I mean, run routes, possession receiver, can score in a touchdown. He's what you want out of your second receiver. Calvin Ridley had a really good season as a rookie last year. I mean, Calvin Ridley, I mean, he really showed up. He really showed up, man, as a rookie. I mean, this dude has speed to run past you. He was really good in the slot. Has really good route running. I mean, this dude has potential to be a star receiver himself. You know, so I really like that pickup last year from the Falcons, man. He had 10 touchdowns last year. 10 touchdowns for a rookie receiver last year. Nearly had 1,000 yards, right? He had 821. You know, 64 receptions, man. Expect Calvin Ridley to have a huge jump. Going into this year. I mean, for real. I mean, we could see Calvin Ridley possibly having 1,300 yards, having 12 touchdowns, 80 to 70, 85 to nearly 90 receptions. Maybe that's a little bit too many receptions. I don't know. But I expect big things from Calvin Ridley. I mean, this wide receiving core is just for real. Just for real. One of the most deadliest things about this team, point blank period. One of the most deadliest receiving cores you'll see in this NFL. On to the offensive line. And I'm gonna be real. I have a few question marks about this offensive line. Now, I will say, I like how you guys address what you guys did in the draft. I like how you guys address the right guard and the right tackle in the draft. But this is my only thing. They're rookies. So it's unknown. I like how you guys drafted first round prospects, right? First 2 picks, offensive line. I love it. But can these guys come in? Because these guys are going to come in and be the starters. Caleb, McGarry, Chris Lindstorm, these guys are going to come in and be starters week 1. So are they going to come in and produce by day 1? Because they have no time to slack. I mean, this division, like I said, is for real, right? It's up for the grabs every single year for this division. So are they going to come in and be solid players at their position from day 1? We saw the Colts do that last year. Drafted offensive line early, Quentin Nelson. They drafted the other guy, I forgot his name off the top of my head. Came in as impact players, impact offensive linemen. And of course the Colts succeeded last year making the playoffs. Can the Falcons do the same thing? Hopefully, but we'll have to see. Alex Mack, we know who he is. One of the best centers, a top 5 center in the NFL. We know that he's that dude at that center position. They brought in left guard James Carpenter. I think he's shown that he can be a solid left guard. We'll see what that's all about. Jake Matthews, he's been the left tackle there. I think he's just going to be Jake Matthews. Thing is, y'all got to stay healthy. Last year, your offensive line didn't stay healthy, and that Ryan got hit a bit. The running game wasn't there. So stay healthy. The rookie's going to come in and be impact players from day 1, and we'll see what's good with that. Austin Hooper as a tight end, really good tight end. I believe he was a Pro Bowler last year. Really good receiving tight end, man. Really good. I mean, this, like I said, the receiving core. Like they have a really good wide receiving core with a really good tight end. How many teams can really say that? Not that many. So, like I said, as a whole, this offense has talent. This offense has talent. So it's going to be about staying healthy. You know what I mean by staying healthy? I'm talking about the offensive line and especially Devontae Freeman. And we're going to need this the 2 rookies on the offensive line to come in and just be solid. I'm not telling you guys gotta come in and be Quentin Nelson. Be solid. Keep everything moving the right way. That's all I'm really trying to say. On to the defense, man. And now, of course, head coach Dan Quinn, he's taking over defensive play caller now. And I like that because as a Seahawks fan, I'm trying to tell you, man, Dan Quinn, yeah, we know what he's about. We know what he's about. Of course, Pete Carroll, he's a defensive, you know what he's about. But Dan Quinn, he's a defensive mastermind himself. So I really like that. And let's speak about the talent on this defensive line first, man. Vic Beasley, man. I'm expecting Vic Beasley to come out, and he's going to come out and have one of his best seasons, in my opinion. A lot of people feel that he's pretty much a bust. I mean, after his first year, we already know what his first year is about. I mean, after his first year, his rookie year, when the Falcons made a Super Bowl, and he had led the NFL in sacks, a lot of people were talking about he's going to be the next sack master in this NFL, right? But these past 3 seasons, ever since then, I mean, it's been up and down, inconsistent, and a lot of Falcons fans will tell you that. But look, last year, where they finally moved him back on the defensive line, kind of up and down last year. I expect Vic Beasley to come out and rush the passer, man. He really does, because if he doesn't produce this year, I don't know what to say, man. So I expect Vic Beasley to go back and maybe not lead the NFL in sacks, but expect him to have one of his best seasons. On to the other parts of the defensive line. We already know what Grady Jarrett's about. One of the best defensive tackles we have in this NFL. I mean, he can do everything you want in the defensive tackle. Has good awareness. I mean, he's one of the best defensive tackles at rushing that passer. I know that's what a lot of people like in today's NFL. Pretty good at stopping the run. I mean, he's what you want off a defensive tackle. I like the move of getting Tyler Davidson, getting a run stopper. It's a solid interior defensive line, as long as Grady Jarrett's there. Takk McKinley, I mean, a lot of people thoughts about him are, a lot of people felt indifferent about him. I think he's going to come out, and I can see him having a really good season. They don't have, what's his name there? He's been the defensive lineman. I know Atlanta Falcons fans know what I'm talking about, but he's been there. He's been that other D lineman on the side. Damn, I had his name in my mind. Well, he's not there anymore. So Takk McKinley, he's going to come in and he's going to pretty much be the starter. But the most underrated thing about this defensive line is who they added back, and that's Adrian Clayborn, man. I don't know why a lot of people aren't talking about this, man. When Adrian Clayborn was on the Falcons, right, a few years back, he was one of the best players on this defensive line. He's back, and I don't think he's really, I mean, you could say that he lost a step. I mean, last year he played for the Patriots, right? And I believe he was playing, he wasn't, a lot of people weren't really speaking about him, but look, Adrian Clayborn, in my opinion, is going to come and make a big impact, especially when it comes to stopping the run. He's going to come in and stop the run, have really good awareness, of course. And he's just going to improve his defensive line. As a whole, I think this defensive line has potential. We're just going to see Vic Beasley and Takk McKinley really step up. That's my only really big things about it. Are they going to come in? Are they going to step up? Are they going to play inconsistent? How they were last year? Because Takk McKinley, he's shown potential. Got to be more consistent. On to the linebacking core, man. You can't speak about this linebacking core without mentioning Deion Jones. We know that he's a playmaker, man. We know that he's a playmaker for real. Gets interceptions. I mean, this dude has really good awareness on the field. Can stop the run, speedy, run sideline from the sideline. He's everything what you want of a middle linebacker. And with him being injured last year, of course, you saw the Falcons defense as a whole just take a hit, especially at that linebacker position. I mean, I can't tell you how many times Falcons fans kept on mentioning Duke Riley, how this dude is the biggest bum on the earth at the linebacker position. I was like, dang, yo, they just airing out Duke Riley. But anyway, no shade to Duke Riley. But, you know, Deion Jones is Deion Jones. Also, you got Devondre Campbell, really solid linebacker player on the other side of Deion Jones. So, I mean, that other linebacking position is kind of what you're going to do there. But, I mean, when you got Deion Jones coming back, the linebacking core is going to be better. It's going to be better. On to the secondary, man. On to the secondary. Now, I want to speak on this real quick. First thing, we got to speak on the safeties coming back. You're getting Kavani Neal. I think I just butchered his first name. You're getting Neal back. We already know what he's about. One of the strongest safeties. I like Neal at that safety position for real. I mean, he can do what you want at that safety position. Come in, make big hits. We know that he's a big hit machine. Has really good awareness, can stop the run. Pretty good in the passing game. I mean, this dude is one of the most underrated strong safeties in the NFL. And then another big part was Rakeedo Allen, man. Rakeedo Allen got injured last year. Also, like I said, both of their starting safeties were injured. First 2 games of the season. I don't think a lot of people realize that. I'm talking about the mainstream media don't really realize that. And if they come back fully healthy, this secondary is going to be what they were the years before last year. And that was really good. Right? Now, you got Desmond Trufant on that left cornerback position. We know what he's about. One of the most solid cornerbacks we have in this NFL. Really good cornerback. Now, my biggest question mark on this team is Isaiah Oliver, man. Isaiah Oliver. He was a rookie last year. Really didn't get to see that much playing time. And like we know, they got rid of Brian Poole. They got rid of Robert Alford. So they lean on this young guy to come in and be an impact player. And maybe he has the skills to come in and be a solid cornerback. But I don't know, man. I really don't. You got quarterbacks in this whole entire division with playmakers. I mean, it's not like you playing in a division where there's no threats on the outside. I mean, you're going to see Mike Thomas one game. You're going to see Mike Evans another game and Jared Cook. And then you're going to see DJ Moore and Greg Olsen running up the middle. And then you got to, I mean, like, come on now. So I'm not sure how this is going to work. Now, I do like DeMonte Kazee. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. I might be wrong. He came in and he was one of the bright spots of the defense last year because, like I said, both of the strong safety positions got injured. So somebody had to fill in for that free safety position. And he came in, he played really well. And I think he's gonna play a big part when it comes to a slot cornerback because he played a lot of slot cornerback. I peeped that last year. He played a lot of slot cornerback last year and he played pretty well at that. So that's a bright spot. He's going to come in, solidify that slot cornerback. But, I mean, I really don't have any question marks. This is a really good secondary. But I got to see what Isaiah Oliver is all about because if he can't guard anyone, I mean, to be fair though, I mean, around this division, there's not that many good number 2 wide receivers in this division. Besides the Falcons, right? You know, if you're facing the Saints, Desmond Trufant's gonna be on Mike Thomas, so that's gonna leave Oliver on tag end. I mean, as long as he can deal with tag end speed, I mean, he should be all right. When you're talking about the Buccaneers, then that might be another thing because Chris Godwin is going to be lined up on the other side. He might get bit. He might get bit up a bit. Because I think Godwin's going to come in and have a huge year. But, I mean, it's a question mark, man. Where are they going to get out Isaiah Oliver, man? That's my question mark on this secondary. But besides that, I think this defense is going to come in and they're going to be what they were before the injuries. I'm talking about 2017, 2016. Falcons defense. Biggest thing, stay healthy, man. That's pretty much my biggest thing about this team, man. And right now, like I said, they're already dealing with injuries, but it's role players, not any starters. And like I said, I don't want to come off as an asshole, but I mean, you would rather have your role players than your star players get injured. Tough world, but that's what it is. I like this team, man. I really do. I like this team, man. This team has potential to go all the way. I mean, the talent is there. Depth might be an issue, but the talent is there, man, on both sides of the field. They check all the check marks, man. You got a winning quarterback. You got to start quarterback there. You got talent on the outside. Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Muhammad Sanu, Austin Hooper. This offensive line should come in and be solid, especially these rookie right guard and rookie right tackle can come in and they want impact. You even got a good running back. He has to stay healthy, and Devontae Freeman. His defensive line look like it can be really solid, especially if Vic Beasley plays like how he had his rookie season. You're getting Deion Jones back, one of the best linebackers in the NFL. The secondary could be really good. And we need to see what Isaiah Oliver is all about. So I'm liking everything. I'm liking everything. Now, when it comes to ranking this team, right? Also, another thing, they got playoff experience. I know last year they didn't make it, but the year before, 2016 they made it. 2017 they made it. In 2016 they made it all the way to the Super Bowl. Not going to speak about the Super Bowl though, but they made it there. But they made it there. So, when it comes to ranking this team, see, look, man, this is the thing, man. When we talk about talent, I can honestly put them in tier 1. But I'm going to put them in tier 2, and this is the reason why. We had to see it, man. We had to see it. And I'm not really all talking about skill. I need to see y'all stay healthy. I need to see y'all stay healthy. And there's a few unknowns that's going to come in and be starters. There's an unknown at the right cornerback position. There's unknown at the right side of the offensive line. And there's an unknown at the opposite side of Deion Jones. I'm not talking about Devondre Campbell. I'm talking about the other side of that. No. So, like I said, this is a tier 2 team in my opinion. And this team has potential to either be a letdown team like they were last year, or they could be a dominant team. Where we talking about, dang, this is one of the most unstoppable teams we've seen in a long time. So what you guys think, man? I think the Falcons have potential to go all the way. I think they can. I'm not sure if it's going to happen or not, but it's a possibility, man. It's definitely a possibility, man. Atlanta Falcons fans, how you guys feel? Do you guys think that y'all can go all the way? I want to hear what y'all opinions about this, man. Do you guys feel that y'all tier 2 team? Do you guys feel that I snub y'all? Y'all should be a tier 1 team? Or NFL fans in general, do you guys think that I'm too generous to the Falcons? And since they didn't make the playoffs last year, I should put them a little bit lower. Give me your opinions about it, but that's all I pretty much want to say, man. If you guys enjoy NFL, NBA content, want to see some more gaming content, give this video a like. If you're new, go and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. I'm the phenomenal one, and I'm out. Deuces.